Do you have a dream to speak English fluently? Of course you do. Have you ever started a new plan to study, full of excitement and motivation, only to stop after a few days or a few weeks? If your answer is yes, please know that you are not alone. This is the number one reason why most learners fail. It is not because they are not smart or not talented. It is because they lose the one thing that is more powerful than motivation, more important than talent, and more valuable than any secret trick. That one thing is called consistency. And today, I promise I will show you why this one simple idea is the only key you will ever need to unlock your English dreams. Welcome to Grow English Mastery. Today, we are not learning a difficult grammar rule. We are learning the most important rule for life and for learning. In this episode, we will turn this simple idea into a powerful action plan. First, we will explore why small daily actions are the secret to achieving big, long-term goals. Second, we will master 7 essential vocabulary words for talking about habits and success. And finally, for our language focus, we will review the present simple tense, the grammar we use to describe the very habits we are trying to build. Are you ready to change your life, one small step at a time? First, let's understand why that exciting feeling you get at the beginning of a new plan always disappears, and what you need to replace it with. Part 1. The Myth of Motivation. Many of us believe that to succeed, we need motivation. Motivation is a wonderful feeling. It's the excitement you feel when you buy a new notebook and write "My English Journey" on the first page. It's the energy you feel after watching an inspiring movie. But motivation is like a firework. It burns very bright, it's very exciting, but it disappears very quickly. One day, you feel like you can study for 5 hours. The next day, you feel tired, you have other problems, and you feel like doing nothing. This is normal. This is human. You cannot depend on motivation to reach your goals, because motivation is an emotion, and emotions always change. So, what do we need? We need something stronger. We need a system. We need consistency. Consistency is the act of doing something regularly, every day, even when you don't feel like it. It is not exciting. It is not a firework. It is like a small drop of water. One drop does nothing to a large rock. But if a drop of water falls on that same rock, in the same place, every single day for many years, it can create a hole. It can change the shape of the rock. That is the power of consistency. Small, patient, repeated effort over a long time. Now you might be thinking, but I don't have time to study for hours every day. And this brings us to the most beautiful part of this secret. To be consistent, you don't need to do something big. In fact, it's the opposite. Part 2. The Power of Small Steps. Let me ask you a question. If you read just one page of an English book every single day, what will happen after 1 year? You will have read a 365-page book. If you learn just 2 new English words every day, what will happen after 1 year? You will have learned over 700 new words. This is the magic. Real success does not come from big actions that you do once in a while. It comes from very small actions that you do every single day. Most people make a big mistake. They try to study for 3 hours on a Sunday, and then they do nothing from Monday to Saturday. Their brain forgets everything. But if you practice for just 15 minutes every day, you are sending a constant message to your brain. This is important. Remember this. Your progress will be silent at first. It will grow under the surface, like a seed that you water every day. For weeks you may see nothing. And this is where most people quit. They think, it's not working, but it is working. You just can't see it yet. Then one day you will have a conversation or watch a movie and you will suddenly realize, wow, I understand this now. That is your small plant finally breaking through the ground. You have to trust the process. Slow progress is still progress. So if we all know this is true, why is it so hard to be consistent? The secret is not about having more willpower. It's about having a better strategy. Let's learn how to build that strategy. Part 3. How to build consistency. Here are 3 simple, practical rules to help you stay consistent on your English journey. Rule number 1. Start ridiculously small. Ridiculously means in a way that is so silly or extreme, it's almost funny. Your goal for your daily habit should be so small that it is impossible to say no to. Don't start with, I will study for 1 hour every day. Start with something like, I will open my English book and read 1 sentence every day. Or, I will listen to 1 minute of this podcast every day. This sounds crazy, right? But it works. Why? Because the goal is not to learn a lot in 1 day. The goal is to build the habit of showing up. After you read 1 sentence, you might feel good and decide to read a whole page. But even if you only read 1 sentence, you have won. You have kept your promise to yourself. Rule number 2. Be specific and schedule it. Don't just say, I will practice English tomorrow. That is a wish, not a plan. A real plan is specific. You must decide what you will do, when you will do it, and where you will do it. For example, every day at 8 p.m. after I wash the dishes, I will sit at my kitchen table and do 1 lesson on my English app for 15 minutes. This is a clear plan. When 8 p.m. comes, you don't have to think or make a decision. The decision is already made. It is part of your schedule. Rule number 3. Never miss twice. This is the most important rule for long-term success. Life is not perfect. You will have busy days. You will get sick. You will feel tired. You will miss a day of practice. And that is okay. Missing 1 day is an accident. But missing 2 days in a row is the start of a new bad habit. So your rule is simple. You can miss 1 day, but you must never miss 2 days in a row. Forgive yourself for the missed day and get back to your routine the very next day, even if it's just for 1 minute. This flexibility is what will keep your habit alive for years. Now that you have a plan, let's learn the language to talk about your new, consistent life. Part 4. Language focus on our 7 essential vocabulary words for today's lesson. Our first word is consistency. Consistency is the quality of always behaving or performing in a similar way. For example, consistency is more important than motivation for long-term success. Our second word is habit. A habit is a routine that you do regularly, often without thinking. For example, my goal is to make learning English a daily habit. Our third word is progress. Progress is the process of improving or developing over time. For example, don't worry if your progress feels slow. Every small step is important. Next, we have discipline. Discipline is the ability to control yourself and to make yourself do things that you should do. For example, waking up early to study requires discipline. Our fifth word is to achieve. To achieve means to succeed in finishing something or reaching a goal, especially after a lot of work. For example, if you are consistent, you can achieve anything. The sixth word is routine. A routine is your normal fixed way of doing things. For example, my morning routine always includes 15 minutes of reading, and our final word is to commit. To commit means to promise yourself that you will do something. For example, I commit to practicing English for 10 minutes every day. Now for our grammar focus, the present simple for habits and routines. This is a perfect grammar point for our topic today. As we learned in a previous lesson, one of the main jobs of the present simple tense is to talk about our habits, our routines, and permanent truths. The grammar of consistency is the present simple. Look at these sentences that describe a consistent learner's life. She studies for 15 minutes every day. He reads one page of a book before he goes to sleep. They listen to an English podcast on their way to work. I always practice my pronunciation in the morning. Remember the structure for I, you, we, and they. We use the base form of the verb. For he, she, and it, we add s or as. We also use adverbs of frequency like always, often, usually, sometimes, and never with this tense to describe how often we do our habits. I never miss 2 days in a row. You have the mindset. You have the strategy. Now, how can you put it into practice? Part 5. Practice tips for the 4 skills. For listening, find an interview with a successful athlete, artist, or business person. Listen for how they talk about their daily routines and their process. They will always use the present simple to describe the consistent actions they take every day. For speaking, describe your ideal daily English learning routine to your AI tutor. Use your voice. Even if you don't do it perfectly now, describe the habit you want to build. Use the present simple and adverbs of frequency. For example, in my ideal routine, I always wake up early. I usually listen to a podcast while I make breakfast. For reading, find a blog post about how to build a new habit. These articles are full of imperative commands and present simple examples that will reinforce today's lesson. And for writing, this is your first and most important action. In your journal, write down your new ridiculously small English habit. Be specific. Write down what you will do, when you will do it, and where you will do it. For example, every night at 9 p.m. I sit on my sofa and I read one paragraph of my English book. Part 6. Your next action today. You have learned the most important secret to success in any area of life. It is not magic. It is not a secret talent. It is the simple, quiet, and unstoppable power of consistency. You now have a practical 3-step plan to build this superpower in your own English learning journey. As we conclude, let's quickly summarize our lesson. First, we learned that motivation is not enough. We need consistency. Second, we learned that the secret to success is small, daily actions, not big, infrequent ones. And third, we learned the 3 simple rules for building a habit. Start ridiculously small, be specific, and never miss twice. We also learned 7 essential vocabulary words for this topic. As a review, those words were consistency, habit, progress, discipline, to achieve, routine, and to commit. Your life is built by what you do every day. So my final question is this. What is the one ridiculously small action you commit to doing every day to improve your English starting today? Please share your commitment in the comment section below. If you are committed to making this mindset a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend by sharing this video with someone you know who is struggling to stay motivated. And to lock in your commitment to learning, subscribe and smash that notification bell so you don't miss our next workout. Remember, you don't have to do it all today. Just do something, and then do it again tomorrow. Your future self will thank you. Until next time, take care and happy learning.